My sister actually was getting married the Saturday of the 24th. And the reception was to be in the Barclay Hotel. Anyway, my mother and my wife and several of the other family members were down at the Barclay Friday night decorating and whatnot. And of course I was down there with my future brother-in-law, and we were having a bit of a party ourselves with a couple other folks. And I recall that I went home early because I had to go to work at the garage the next morning. We were open. So I went home and I was sound asleep in bed and my phone rings. And it's my partner, Don Reynolds, calls me and said, you better come down to the shop. He says, there's a tidal wave coming. And I thought, and he was having a bit of a party too. So I said, Don, go home and go to bed, would you? It's midnight. So I didn't pay much attention. And I don't think he was able to get down to the shop. So about 20 minutes later, my future brother-in-law phones me. He says, hey, you better get down to the shop and get your stuff out. There's a bloody big tidal wave coming. And I said, Ray, you've been partying too much too. And then I went back to bed and my wife says, that's two people that have called you. You better get down there and see what's going on. So I jump in my car and go down there. And there's not a pick of water anywhere. I can tell that there has been water there because there's cars and logs and whatnot on Victoria Quay. So I walk out of the shop, and it was maybe 50 feet to the back, and there wasn't a pick of water in the river at all. You could walk across the water, and Bobby Cole knows that. Anyway, by the time I got back around the front of the shop and into the shop, I was up to my ankles in water. And I've got my truck backed into the door of the shop trying to get all my paperwork out because that's all my worldly life was in that shop. I had everything, all my tools, the whole bit. So I got that going and was working away. And when I finished that, the water would come up to my knees. And of course, the adrenaline pumps in when you're in a position like that. You know you've got to get this stuff out. So we rammed it all. I rammed it all in my truck as much as I could get in there, and took off up Johnson Road. But the devastation that was there was incredible. What is absolutely amazing is there was no one injured and no deaths, and that's incredible for the magnitude of that tsunami as we know it today. But it was very scary to me. I think I was about 24 years old at the time. Never ever in your lifetime think you would ever see anything like that.
That's right.
It does happen.